About home education as well. Can your home education teach us the values which our school education gives? Can they teach us what our friends, what they do when our friends rely on us? When they cheat us, can they teach us those values? No. The home education cannot. School education can teach you that because you are there with your friends. Education gives you with wings. Education gives you flying, and education brings you the light. Education is a fire which burns the darkness of the unknown and unlight the future for us. There are many things which undiscovers us by education. School education may have many problems, and one of them is expensive education studies. These expensive education studies is not only helping us or our future here. These expensive education studies is making the poor people not able to educate. These poor children, how will they educate? The free is the word here. The free word is the word which we can use for helping the school education. The school education here can be referred to the mindsets also. The people who do not have a proper mindset, like usually the parents of the poor children think that their child who has in this competitive world, their child cannot have a proper job because they lack the money. But that's not true. If we have a free and compulsory education, everyone will get equally educated. Everyone get equal education and everyone will get a job. Job may be higher post or a lower post. What the matters? You are getting it. You are getting a good salary. School education. School education will make you study brick by brick. The actors, the farmers, even the footballers, how they come to know the words, the terms they use. School education is the beginning session there. School education is a beginning word which gives you the term, the words which makes you help. An author cannot write until or unless he knows the words. An actor cannot act until or unless he knows the feelings or the characters he do. What happens when a... Yes?
You're talking about actors and authors. How do you think that compulsory education, which teaches them maths and all the other subjects like SST, how do you think these subjects help them in their profession? Okay,
so basically we are here, I'm talking about actors here, right? So SST, what if an actor like we have Jodha Akbar? Hrithik Roshan played a role of Akbar. If he didn't know who was Akbar, then how could he act? Just read it. It was the beginning that he do. In school education you mentioned it, right? So basically, actors can do it. I can end up my speech by saying that school education may not be compulsory or may start with an end. So, beg your pardon, may start with the beginning of small light. School education is something which brings us the hope, which brings us a poor children, the desired eyes of them, a light or a vision. These school educations may have many problems. Malala Yousafzai said that if we teach a girl or a woman, then we can teach a whole generation. Gender is also a problem that people are not sending their children to school. But school education, believe me, if it is made free and compulsory, then everyone can get it. Even a girl, even a poor child, or even a person from a lower caste can get it and can stand in front of anyone and say, yes, I have done this. Yes, I have done that, and their parents can go outside in the world and with their heads up and say that, yes, the light, the education which we got was from our school, was from here. And now I end up my speech. Thank you.
A very good morning to respected jury members and the audience. I am Shrish Mehrotra and I am present here before you to strongly oppose the motion that school education should be made free and compulsory across the globe. At the outset, I would like to point out that education should not be disseminated in a coercive manner. No less than Plato once famously said, knowledge that is acquired under compulsion obtains no hold on the mind. Free and compulsory education defies the grain of this profound thought of the great philosopher. Hence, the futility of this type of teaching cannot be overstated. Free and compulsory education is predicated upon a structure which overlooks different skill sets that the human race possesses. Instead, the focus must be on tapping the latent talent by allowing the child's natural instincts to develop spontaneously and not under the pressure of a school system. Moreover, pupils who have identified their aptitude will be unable to accomplish congruent goals and would feel inhibited within the four walls of the school. This model is completely antithetical to free thinking and natural flair. The House will concur that enormous investment is required to make education unbridled. Looking at the matter from financial perspectives, this type of educational structure is way beyond the reach of most nations. Not only third world countries, but emerging economies, such as our own, India, continues to grapple with fundamental issues like poverty and hunger.
POI, how can you relate attitude with school education? You just added a word that attitude, something like that.
I never mentioned attitude.
You mentioned the word that attitude within the school four walls. So can you
cross
just
question, please.
I never mentioned the word attitude. I'm sorry, you heard me wrong. I would like to assert that the United Nations puts the number of daily deaths across the world at approximately 21,000 per day. So, I have this pertinent poser for you. What good is a free opportunity or even a compulsion if there is no beneficiary? There are more crucial issues crying for funds. I would like to take up an example of the development of the country. India has started the Sarv Shiksha Abhiyan, but that is of no beneficiary. Way back in 1950s, India and China were at par in the economic development. But today we can see how China has quickly emerged, whereas India still isn't able to eradicate issues like poverty. So first, the focus should be on eradicating poverty.
You talked about that China have surpassed us economically. If you know that China also provides free education and compulsory till primary wing, so I guess this is posing yourself.
My point here was that China first, before the starting educational policies, China had focused to eradicate issues, the social issues that India isn't able to, and India is first trying to control the education, first trying to make the masses educated, whereas the masses here, they cannot step out of their home, they are so malnourished, they are so their development is improper, they cannot go and avail this opportunity. Summing up, I would like to emphasize that investing heavily in education and being oblivious to other social issues would defy financial wisdom. Thank you.
A very good morning to respected jury members, my dear opposition team, and all my friends and teachers present here. Today, I'm Alice Pundi from Nehru Girls School, and I would support what my friend Vidani has already said. Like, I'm surprised to see that we are arguing on a topic like this. We are saying that education should be made free and compulsory. So, it's actually true. We should, education should be made free and compulsory. As education is the birthright of every child, then how can we even talk about taking it away? So every child should get an education. Did you ever know that in 2015 there was an expenditure of 1,563 billion on army. So that's no point. We're spending so much of money on army, whereas people sitting inside the country are uneducated. They don't even know this much of money is being.
Point of information. You want to take away the funds from army and put it into education. So if we take away the funds that are provided to army, basically we'll have a country which will be bombed upon, where people will enter and they'll terrorize us. So in that way, we won't be able to avail education either.
I'm not saying to take the fund away from army. It is that a huge amount is being used, whereas some of it can be used. Some of it can be used on the education of the students. I think we have enough army even to fight an alien invasion. We have a great army power. So the money should be used in for educating people
Point
and
of information, we already have an educational policy that takes up a large part of government funds.
but there are still students who are not educated. 60 million students have never at all gone in schools.
That is why I would like to say
No cross questioning.
So, I would get back to the point. You all would have visited the malls, right? And would have seen movies. Did you ever think how big amount of the money is used on them? Movies like Gravity and malls such big as GIP, a huge amount of money is being used in them. So, I think money should be used in a proper way. People should be educated. The proper use should be the education. We see a lot of crime taking place today, and mostly young children, are involved in them. Extremists group around the globe are using children for the terrorism, because no one would ever be suspected that a children could commit crime. Just think, if a group of people come to you and say that to you that let's form a group and we'll blast off that place, would you ever go with them? No, you won't, because you're educated. So a person should be educated to know that what is wrong and what is right. To make a difference between wrong and right, a person must be educated. So how great it would be if everyone is educated, and it is only possible when education is free and compulsory. We don't ever get modernized by going to 5-star hotels or going to malls and wearing new clothes, stylish clothes. Like, we only get modernized by getting proper education. You can only say you are modern if you are properly educated. So I would end up by saying that every citizen should be educated to make a country develop even more. Thank you.
I'm Nivesh. For experts of human folly, there's hardly anything more fascinating than the spectacle of the almost universal acceptance of an idea that is logical, obvious, but wrong. A very good morning to respected jury members and the audience. The note on which I, Nivesh Ahuja, of Team 6 began would have given you a clear indication of my unequivocal opposition for the motion. School education should be made free and compulsory for each and every student across the globe. Furthermore, there are conflict-ridden countries such as Syria and Israel. In these areas, defense and infrastructure are higher spending priorities than education. Additionally, there is a question of quality. Precedent suggests that substances takes a hit when education is imparted free of cost. Reflecting on this thought, I would like to throw some light on the countries where free and compulsory education is in mind first.
POI. You talked about countries like Syria and Iraq. They are funding their defense system more and giving education less. But if you see, these are the only countries from where the terrorism are actually starting. States like ISIS, they are recruiting people who are not educated and they're brainwashing them. So I don't think that the point that you made should be against education.
So basically I just told you that in countries like Israel and Syria, defense expenditure is a priority, because you only said that ISI groups and terrorist groups are coming from there. So you gotta need an army which protects these countries, because they can be attacked at any point of time. So you gotta invest in defense expenditure, not in education, because you need to protect your citizens first. Then you will educate them. If there are no citizens, there are no education. So I would like to continue that India comes to mind first when we think of developing countries which have given priorities to education. But do you feel that education is reaching the masses here in India? There are many such instances across the world where the intended benefits of free and compulsory education aren't percolating to the grassroots at whom they are targeted. I have a very valid question to raise. Could you please provide me some information regarding the so-called bright future given by the government authorities? Additionally, there is a question of quality. Precedents suggest substance takes a hit when education is imparted free of cost. Wouldn't you agree that the private institutions who are known to cause astronomical sums of money provide a better quality of education? Ultimately, the varying standards of the private and government education end up creating a class divide. Instead, loans can be provided at lucrative terms to the students who are interested in education. Before I conclude, an example of business magnate Richard Branson would be worth illustrating. A school dropout, the flourishing Englishman is the founder and owner of the Virgin Group, who has a net business of 5.1 billion US dollars. There are many such people who have quit schooling yet made it big because of their aspirations. Therefore, I rest my case. Thank you.
Now I call upon the third speaker for the proposition.
Everyone, my name is Adira Shahid from Nehru World School in the proposition of the notion. So, as my two friends have already justified that education should be made free and compulsory across the world. So, I'm also here to give some points upon it. But before starting, I would like to say a very beautiful saying by a great personality, that people have number of opportunities, but these opportunities can only be grabbed by those who are educated. The insurmountable task can also be overcome when a person is educated. So, the causes and consequences of free education have already been spoken by my co-members. So, I will be talking about the factors on which this education depends. So, as we talk about giving education to the students, what is the first thing which clicks in your mind? According to me, it is parents. Parents are the one who takes the responsibility for education of their children. But as all parents cannot afford the cost of educating their children, so of course it's going to be unfair. And this is not the mistake of the children, those who are born in poor families. So free education can help them to showcase their talents which they have in themselves. Now, it is heard that richer gets richer and poor gets poorer. So, have you ever thought on this fact that what is it? Actually, it is that it fits exactly with the context of education. Uneducated children will become the liabilities in the whole world. So, actually what happens here is that where we have number of job opportunities in the whole world and also a lot of resources. So these resources can only be utilized when a child will be educated, and uneducated will of course not be able to do anything with this, and they will just be a burden in the whole world.
Point of information.
Yes.
You're continuously supporting education, but what good is school education? Just school education that is free and compulsory. After the elementary level of education, how will the parents afford it? What do you propose for that?
I'll come to it later. So, coming back to my point, that compulsory and free education can only help to accomplish the task of useful and productive citizens. Now, let's take an example of our country, India. Our country has been privileged to have brave leaders who fought for independence and development so that future generation can progress well. So therefore, now it's our duty that we pay back their gratefulness which they have done us in the past.
Point of information.
Yeah.
Our forefathers have fought for our freedom, and compulsory education, the word compulsory is defying the thought that our forefathers wanted.
Could you please repeat this?
I said that our forefathers have fought for freedom. The colonialization, the British, they also meant to educate us. But compulsory education, the word compulsory is defying that thought.
I'll cut it. So let's take one more last example, which is that ratio of girls and boys. Not talking about the country or the cities, but in your own classroom as you take, the ratio of girls will always be, not always, generally be less as compared to the boys. So this gender discrimination in education is also a factor which depends. So girls should also get a chance to come and show themselves, and this can happen with compulsory and free education. Because if girls will get free education, they will be able to come in front. Take the example of Malala Yousafzai, a girl of Swat Valley who was very brave, and she was shot 3 times in head, but still she stood for her education right and also for the girls. She was awarded with the Nobel Prize for Peace in 2015. So there should be no gender inequality in the education. At last, I would like to conclude that education is the sole key to various doors of success. Therefore, educated present will only give a healthy and bright future, and hence education should be made free and compulsory for all. Compulsory education. Compulsory education.
You did not hear my question.
Good morning to one and all present here. I am Animesh Agarwal of class 11. I strongly support that school education should not be made free and compulsory. Consider the fact of India. What sort of education is being provided in government schools? That children go to schools in greed of midday meal rather than the education which is provided there. And moreover, what knowledge is being provided in the government schools by the so-called nation builders who get confused when asked who our Prime Minister is. Since education in government schools is free, it is considered invaluable and priceless. Even our maids, they send their children to low private schools rather than sending them to government schools. Do you know why? Because they consider government schools as below their standard. You might have known of the Skill India campaign, which was started by PM Modi recently as Skill. It is going to give the poor food and good standard of living and respect to the people. One more valid point is my dear opponents, we were talking about elementary and compulsory education around the globe, which means developed countries like USA, Australia and UK, most of the people are rich enough to afford their children to go to rich and good schools rather than sending them to government schools.
Point of information.
Yes?
The way that right now you mentioned that people in US and United Kingdom, they're sending their children to private schools rather than sending them to government schools.
Yes.
But if you are not aware of it, there are more government schools, and those government schools are filled there rather than the private schools where seats are still empty.
But there is no free education there, I guess, in government schools. Free and compulsory education is not there, so they are still paying the government schools. That was my point. Thank you. Lastly, I would like to state a quote mentioned by Albert Einstein. He stated that my education is the only obstruction in the path of learning. It is enough that enough to say this quote, as you may all get what I mean. Thank you.
Now, sum up from the opposition side.
That one day, on the red hills of Georgia, the son of former slaves and the son of former slave owners will be able to sit down together at the table of brotherhood. I have a dream that one day 4 of my little children will live in a nation where they will not be judged by the color of their skin, but the content of their character. I have a dream that one day every valley shall be exalted, every hill and mountain must be made low. The rough places will be made straight, and the crooked ones will be made plain. With this dream I go back to the Mississippi with this dream we will be able to work together, to struggle together, knowing we will be free one day. This was a part of the most famous speech by Martin Luther King Jr. Our forefathers have been inspired on those emotions. A compulsion on education takes us back to those days where our freedom was controlled by other countries such as the British. Just like today, they wanted to educate us under a compulsion. But is that the education we want? No. Education should not come under compulsion. But don't you want to have a say in what you want to do in your life? I would like to say that compulsory education rules upon the wrong ideas of life. And education acquired under compulsion is not that we want. Thank you.
I am Aditi, and today I would like to sum up what my friends already have said. My friend Alice stated that military expenses and the leisure expenses all over the world are enough for an invasion of aliens, and I rightfully agree with her. If we reduce those expenses and put it in education and educating the people such the way that they go for world peace, I don't think that there would be any requirement for the army all over the world. Some of my friends have also stated, my opposition co-members have also stated that the government schools are in very bad condition, and that's why the children are not sent there. But many schools in India, like in Bareilly, the government school is still rated the best in that city. And then comes the point of education and school education. I guess here the people all the debaters are from school education and not home school. And when British came to India, they did educated us. Lord Macaulay, he focused on educating people so that they can get better jobs. Rather it be a low class job, but better jobs. And even Mahatma Gandhi, our famous freedom fighter who freed India, was also educated in law. And I don't think that if he wasn't educated, it could have been he could have made India free. Now coming to girl education, parents think that girls should not be educated because we are spending money on their marriage. So why educate them? If they are given free education, then parents won't have to think about the money that is being spent on their education, and they can focus all their money on their marriage. So both the teams, so both the points should be cleared in that manner.